First off, I know the sound is bad. My normal microphone just died, so I'm on my webcam microphone, so I do apologize for that. But this will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, September 25th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you use charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol BNZI, big mover today, and this thing has been all over the place. But now we have some good solid defined levels here from the technical standpoint. So let's get these mapped out here, headed into Wednesday. So first key level from resistance standpoint stands out to me is basically right here at the $9 mark. And then let me just add a little bit more context so this will make hopefully more sense. And then the bottom part, key level of support right there at the $7 mark. So you basically have this $2 range that the price entered into late morning. You can see right here, price was rejected from that level a couple times. And then down here, the price bounced from that level. But all in all, the price has just basically been chopping back and forth. So that's really the main question headed into Wednesday is this $2 range going to hold up? Is the price just going to chop back and forth? And if you're a trader, then yeah, these ranges here can be very, very nice for you. You just kind of buy the different ranges, the top and the bottoms, and then you kind of go on your merry way. But if you do kind of care about more so the bigger picture standpoint, then yeah, that is the big question here is who is ultimately going to win out? Are the bulls going to win out with a push to the upside, or are the bears going to win with a push to the downside? That'll be the main question mark from that angle of things. But any angle you look at it, really, as far as I'm concerned, at least in my opinion, those are going to be the two main technical levels to pay very, very close attention to. Again, $9 key level of resistance, $7 key level of support. Next one, SEEL, and yeah, there's no doubt about it. This one is looking very, very rough. Dare I say ugly, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly, but to think at one point the price was all the way up here, and I think some poor souls were buying up there, and now the price is all the way down there. That is why stop losses are a very important thing. But if you're just observing and you like to play these sorts of situations, and yeah, if this thing can get a little bit more ugly, there does become a very interesting case down here of will those moving averages provide an area of a bounce. That purple line there is a 50-period moving average. Pink line right there being the 200-period moving average. And while there are no such thing as guarantees, it is certainly more than valid, more than plausible to think that if the price were to come down to that area, it could indeed get a bounce. Now, if you're not going to be disciplined, if you're not good at stop losses, I mean, you shouldn't even be trading, but that's a whole other topic, then you definitely shouldn't be partaking in situations like this. But if you can be disciplined, then what's being risked relative to even if you just get a modest bounce, you could be looking at a very nice risk versus reward scenario. So if you like penny stocks, if you like to play these sorts of opportunity in the ugly situations, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, NIO, and the nice move continues. As I zoom this out, you can see this thing has just been putting in those higher highs and higher lows. So hard to find anything to really complain about on this one right now. So let's just map out some key levels here. First level from a resistance standpoint, I'm going to put in that trend line right there because there is a pattern that I want to get put into play. So keep an eye on that level. And then at the same time, we have this support trend line like that. And this is what actually gives us a bearish pattern, a rising wedge, which you would think would be bullish, but actually the falling wedge is the bullish one. But this is the rising wedge pattern. Now let me be very clear, just like if there's a bullish pattern doesn't mean the price is for sure going to go up. Just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean the price is for sure going to go down. And even when I say go down, that doesn't mean that a rising wedge means this thing's going to crash all the way into oblivion. Not at all. All this is suggesting that, yeah, there's probably a bit of a pullback here that needs to happen. This has been a big move over the past couple of days. So probably a little bit of a rest, a little bit of consolidation and pullback, would be completely fine. And, is seemingly being called for here via this rising wedge pattern. So overall, the chart is just fine. But over the next couple of days, yeah, I would not be shocked at all due to this rising wedge to see a bit of a pullback. Next one, MSS. Very interesting pattern here. And now this final 30 minutes adds that much more spice to it because, yeah, very, very nice last 30 minutes. Big green candle here. Market closes here in 11 minutes, so in theory that candle could get even bigger, but it is now approaching what I would say is the key area, Yeah, I think it's still below it. Yeah, there we go. Bounced right off it actually. But I was looking at the open of that candle right there, $1.70. And then you look at where the high has been so far, right there at $1.70. So that would be the top part of this pattern. And then to draw on the rest of it, there is a very, very nice upwards trend right there. So let me change that to green. And then just to make the pattern easier to see, let me keep it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support. This would be a ascending triangle pattern, which is bullish. But as I just said, just because it's bullish doesn't mean for sure guaranteed the price is going upwards. But would it be shocking? Would it catch people off guard if all of a sudden this thing came up here, broke through that pattern and gained more momentum? No, I don't think that would really catch anybody off guard. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like ascending triangles, definitely keep an eye on this one here of MSS. Next one here, NVDA, and wow, what a crazy, in a bullish way chart here. As things started off a bit rough, nice opening 30 minutes, and things rolled over quite a bit, and then like that, poof, up the price went, and was just smashing through all sorts of resistance levels. Smashed through the 50-period moving average, smashed through that level right there, smashed through that red line. I realize this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous videos where I mapped out these levels, but more of the story, NVIDIA was just crushing the souls of all sorts of resistance levels today. So first update comes about based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And going into the day right there at 119.75 was resistance, but with a price above it, you'd want to see it act as support. And that would certainly be the ideal level. I mean, if you're to ask, hey Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That would be if the price can stay above that level right there. Now, don't get me wrong, if the price falls below there, that doesn't destroy the chart, because from the bigger picture standpoint, we still have the purple line down there, the 50-period moving average, which I realize is irrelevant right now. That line's way down there, price is way up there. But keyword there being moving, because as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. But from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, the bulls 100% own the chart. And then in terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy here, just a basic question of where did the party finally stop today? That was essentially right up there, right around 121.65. So that'll be the main battleground. But all in all, anyway, look at it. Very, very impressive day. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the page you can use to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and very, very nice day for this one. Not nearly as nice as NVIDIA, but still a nice day nonetheless, and actually a very nice last 30 minutes. You can see there was this little wedge that had formed, but as I speak, you can see the price is actually broken up through that wedge. So that in and of itself, nice little dynamic here. So first update, like I just did, when levels of resistance are broken close above, you want to see them act as support. So I'm going to go through this a little quicker to respect your time, but you just heard me say this with NVIDIA. Ideally speaking, yeah, $250, you want to see the price hold above it. If not, not the end of the world, because there is that 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that purple line, then the bulls are perfectly fine. And then in terms of levels of resistance, you can see a couple data points right up here at that level of 256.25. I do realize the price went slightly above it, but you still have a close of that candle right there and then the open right there. So in my mind, 256.25 will be public enemy number one headed into Wednesday. But all in all, anyway, look at it, especially with that last 30 minutes right here, definitely a good solid day. Next one, MLGO, and like this one because it's very, very well defined, and especially from the support standpoint, to which I would call that purple line right there, 50-period simple moving average, a must-hold level. Why am I calling that a must-hold level? Now, I'm not saying this will occur, but just for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down to that level, which valued right around, we'll just call it 0.208. So if we're to come down to 0.208 and then fall down below there, what would that be doing to the price at that point in time? That would quite literally be putting the price right back to where it was before the nice move happened. And not to insult your intelligence, but assuming you're bullish, movements that explode upwards and then go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine power. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but just explaining why that purple line there is so important from a support standpoint. In regards to levels of resistance, main battleground to watch, if this thing's going to try to get any sort of momentum back in its favor, right there at 0.228. So all in all, interesting day. A bit of a pullback, but to be fair, the pullback is going sideways very nicely, and now it's just a question of can the price curl back upwards. So we'll see what the next couple of days have to offer. Next one, GME, and this one is hanging in there. It continues to battle. Had a rough earlier part of the day with a pullback, but I mean, came down here beautifully to that pink line right there, 200 period moving average, and then got a very nice bounce off of it. So it's hanging in there, has not crashed or anything like that. And now I think most eyes are going to be watching because this is not some sort of great discovery. But right up here at about 22.65, give or take probably 10 cents or so in either direction. But a lot of people are going to be watching this area, and rightfully so. You can see, again, broadly speaking, rejected the price, rejected the price, rejected the price. And then once again, during this last 30 minutes, has rejected the price. So while it doesn't guarantee anything, more than valid, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, but more than valid to think that if the price can actually push up through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure and additional momentum. So certainly keep an eye on that as that main area of resistance. And then as far as supports, kind of already talked about that. Continue to watch that pink line down there. That 200 period moving average right now valued at 21.55. And then you also have the purple line there, not that far below it. But all in all, it's hanging in there. Like I said, nice consolidation, knocking on the door of 22.65. So let's see if the price can push up through it. Next one, AMC. Been a long time since I've done this one, and was just kind of curious what it was looking like. And as of right now, let me get this drawn into play. So we have that level right there, which is a support. And then at the same time, we have that level right there. And this would be a falling wedge pattern, which is actually a bullish pattern. So earlier we had a rising wedge. Here we have a falling wedge. And just to reiterate, just because it's bullish does not mean for sure guaranteed AMC is going to skyrocket back upwards. But would it be shocking if there's a bit of a bounce here and if it could come up here and push up through there, that break then could gather more momentum? Yeah, that is certainly a plausible way of thinking. But at the core, really, this is just a pattern play right now, specifically if you like the falling wedge pattern. So if you like this price range, you like falling wedges, keep an eye on it. Next one, TQQQ, and overall, good solid day. Now, it did pull back here a little bit, but what I'm going to do here, now that we have more data, just make an adjustment. And the key question is, well, what direction is this adjustment being made? And now that we have more data, very clear, as the price got rejected right up here at 72.10, essentially 3 times in a row earlier in the day, that is going to be the main battleground there for resistance. And yeah, you notice I had to adjust that resistance upwards. So if you are bullish, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that is definitely a good thing. And same concept right here. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of support, move it up right there at 69.50. And yes, bullish levels of support being adjusted in the upwards direction. That is a good sign. Now, preferably speaking, as I talked about in a few other ones, what would make this chart look the strongest? Definitely if the price can stay above the purple line there, 50 period moving average at 70.65. But even if the price doesn't hold above there, again, you still have that secondary level right there. And then just from a pattern standpoint, basically have a nice little bull pennant that formed on the day. Put the golf hole down here to make it a little bit more visual for you golfers. But yeah, nice little bull pennant that also formed late day today through the rest of the day. But all in all, hard to find really anything to complain about. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used within your trading and why it's so powerful, then definitely get signed up for the free class. It'll be a couple of days, Thursday, September 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. All right, now let's go talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now using the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. In order for this video and analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, I want to just look at a longer time frame and then walk through some questions. But the first thing to note is past 4 hours, which just ended, check out that. Very, very nice bar. So those of you that are watching this video 15, 20 hours from now, you're going to have a much better idea because as of right now, it's a big waiting game. Waiting game for what? Well, all about this question right here. So whenever you're watching this video, question number 1, ask yourself is where's the price at relative to 64,775? If you are answering the question that the price is above there, that is a good thing simply for the reason of, well, that would imply that a breakout has occurred, and breakouts are always great. They're not always great, but they're always good. How good? Maybe it is great. Well, that's where common sense comes into play. If you're saying, well, the price is right around here, okay, that's good. It has broken out. But if you're saying the price is way up there or even higher, well, that's just telling you that that breakout has become a great breakout because it's way above the initial breakout point. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below that level when I'm watching it, that's fine. Next question would be, well, where's the price at relative to that purple line? If you're saying, well, Clay, the price is down below there, okay, where's the price at relative to 61,300? If you're answering the question, the price is down below there, again, that's nothing to panic about, but it is something to at least start to, well, call it a miniature red flag. Like, okay, is something kind of wrong here? I doubt you're answering the question that way. But it is Bitcoin, so you never know. But all in all, keep your eye on these levels, walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep this analysis relevant until I'm back to update it again. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin trader and crypto trader to definitely go get signed up for this free class, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So be a couple days, Thursday, September 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. If you enjoy these live trade or enjoy these, by the way, I do offer live trade videos, so check out the playlist. But if you enjoy these top 10 videos, as always, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and definitely go get signed up for that free webinar. Thanks for watching.